Hello, thanks for tuning in. The purpose of this video is to talk about the logical rationale behind the existence of God, the logical proofs and deductions. Unbeknownst to most folks, certainly unbeknownst to most atheists, there are actually rational and even scientific proofs behind the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala azza wa jal. Allah simply means the one God. Ilah means God, Allah means the one God, and the word Allah is used by Christian and Jewish Arabs. This is not a sermon about Islam or anything like that, but once again, it's simply, hopefully, what it will turn out to be is a rational compendium, if you will, of some of the salient points and features around the notion of there being a God, and that fact being grounded in rational proofs. I said scientific. Science is simply reason looking at cause and effect and logic and things like that, right? You know, what's the definition of science? Science, I would say, simply is no more than observing cause and effect and inferring cause from effects. Things like that, right? Does that make sense? So, for instance, you say, well, the earth is flat versus the earth is round. And then you look at all of the things pertaining to each of those observations in terms of, if the earth is flat, someone would have sailed off it by now. That's probably, an outdated approach at this point in time. But, if we were living back in the day, and we've been talking about people sailing off the earth for hundreds of years, then I don't know, maybe people got lost out there and they assumed they'd sailed off the earth or what have you. But we take that and then we juxtapose it with the alternate proposition. The earth is round. Well, why aren't the people on the bottom falling off? This kind of stuff. Which is why obviously people thought the earth was flat for so long. But then it raises questions like what's underneath it and what's holding it up and all these kinds of things, right? If you just thought about it, even back then, you would have realized that if the earth is flat and just floating in space, then the same thing that's holding the earth up might as well be applied to keeping people on a round world in place. Just because we can see other planets and stars and the moon and whatnot, and we see they're round. Therefore, why would a flat plane be floating out in the midst of all these spheres? In any case, all of that is rational deduction, based on observation and based on inference, not admitting any kind of personal opinion, barring a hypothesis that we're going to test. So, surprisingly, this kind of thinking not only can, but must and should be applied to the question of whether there's a God or not. The question is one so simple and so profound that it's very hard to talk about. And unfortunately, that's not why people don't talk about it, in as much as what are the fundamental reasons that necessitate there being a God? And how come people don't know about those things? The only thing that we really think about in this day and age is this so-called intelligent design theory of intelligent design. The thing is, all of the